Welcome, everyone. Thanks for being with us today on another episode of Three Questions, where we're speaking to people about their collaborations. Today we have Cell 7 and Hildur Kristín, which form a unique collaboration called Red Riot, which recently released their debut single. But these ladies have worked together before in different formats. You've both sort of collaborated on each other's projects, if I'm correct.
Well, I've worked on her project. She hasn't gotten to work on mine yet.
Exactly. Okay.
Yeah.
So yes, you have worked with Ragna on the Cell 7 project.
Yeah.
Hildur.
Yeah, I've been doing live with her. Yeah.
Okay. So let's just start with the beginning. Where did you guys meet?
We actually didn't. I just needed a singer for my project. And I was like, who is cool? Hello, internet. And I was just like researching. And, there are a lot of, singers out there, but who actually fits to the brand? That was like my take. So I just like went on the internet and looked and I found Hildur and thought she was really cool. and I just cold called her up and was like, listen, I'm a rapper. And she was like, okay, interesting. And I was just like, do you want to come and meet me and check out my project? And that's how we met. She just came over.
Okay.
And then fortunately, she decided to tag along this
Yeah.
journey we've been on for a couple of years.
It was one of the funniest phone calls I've had because like I didn't know her personally at all. We had never met.
Yeah.
And I thought it was kind of ballsy to just call me and just like, hey, do you want to do something? So I thought that was really nice.
Yeah.
I'm like, how are you going to work with people you want to work with unless you just make the call? So,
Yeah, of course. That's a healthy reminder. Just make the bloody calls.
Yeah. I mean, what's the worst that can happen?
Mm-hmm.
Of course. But I mean, Hildur, you were familiar, of course, with Ragna's work before she called you.
Yeah. Well, I had heard about her and I had heard a few songs, but like I had never seen her live or anything like that. So that was like something I just saw for the first time when we played the first gig, and I was like, oh, she's really good actually.
And our first was funny.
Yeah.
It was kind of funny. It was like this, what do you call it?
Like high school dance.
Teenager dance.
Yeah.
And everybody had their tongue down each other's throats. And we were like, what is this? What is my life?
Yes. A lot of drunk teenagers, but they were really
It was like a Halloween thingy as well.
Yeah.
So it was really like, not very something that you'd get used to.
Okay.
But it was, fun. Good times.
Good times. Okay. But tell me about the new project, Red Riot. What's the big idea?
Basically, me and Ragna have known each other since 2015, I think.
Yeah.
And we had always like talked about that one day we would do something together, and we have like traveled a lot together. We went to Sierra Leone actually twice. We were part of the same project there.
London?
London.
Yeah.
But it was actually in Sierra Leone that we did the first writing together.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then like I think it was in the start of COVID, we were both just kind of talking about that, we missed having fun and going out and stuff. And I think that was the perfect time to actually try working together because we just never had found the time. And then all of a sudden we had the time. And also we had both been kind of annoyed because we had been working with, various producers, some of the same ones. And we were kind of annoyed that how long everything took and how we were always just waiting for them to kind of get back to us. And then we're like, well, if we just do it ourselves and if we just produce the whole thing, then we don't have to wait on anyone. So that was basically the idea, but we had kind of like no big idea of how the sound would be or anything like that. But we just like knew that Ragna is like from hip hop and I'm from pop, and we thought we could do something interesting. And then we got quite surprised when like we found this kind of more dance sound that was like really up or alley, and it was like nothing we planned for, and then it just came. So that was like quite organic.
Right. And how have you only released this one single yet?
2 singles. Yeah, we
Two
just
singles,
released
yeah.
the second one, and we are working on a full-length album.
Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. And how did you get the name? How did you drop the name Red Riot?
We wanted it to be like a powerful name that was kind of like, emphasizing what we were about, that we were gonna come in with loud music and just like with starting a riot, fire, yeah.
Loud music.
And also we're two like female producers and there aren't that many, and we thought like that in itself is kind of starting a riot, to just like do it yourself and not be waiting on the guy producers to help you. You just, because we knew that we both could produce, but we just hadn't really like decided to go all in. Yeah.
Okay. But having said that, you have both been producing, your own records for a while. Have you also been producing other people's?
I have been recently, yes. So kind of, it was interesting because since we started this project, I gained kind of more confidence in producing for others as well, because I've been writing for others for some time now. So at that point, I was always just like the songwriter in the room, but there was another producer. But now recently I've started like producing for others as well, which is really fun. And yeah, it's like a lot of, different kind of music that I'm doing. So for me, that's like just really fun.
Excellent. Yeah. And have you, you, Ragna, you work also as an engineer on all sorts of stuff. You've been working on in the film, I'm a sound designer, yes.
I'm a sound designer, yes. In post-production, you have usually movies and TV series, and of recently Katla, and then I'm going into the 3rd season of Trapped. I've been there for 2 seasons as well. So that's my day job, at least. Part of the year it is my day job.
Yeah. So is there anything that, you've both been involved with other collaborations before. You've both been in bands. You've been in Subterranean, Ragna, and you were in Rökkuró, Hildur. I saw an old photo of you playing the cello.
Yes, in my past life.
In your past life. You still play the cello though?
Yeah, I do, but like I grab it once in a while, and I was always thinking if I should like bring that more into what I'm doing, but at the same time it's kind of like it's a very classical sound, and I'm not doing music that kind of fits that sound right now, but you never know, maybe it will fit someday.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't really belong in the Red Riot soundscape.
Not really.
No.
Yeah.
Although I do remember some of my favorite disco era tunes having lots of strings on them, but
yeah, that's true.
different thing.
Yeah.
completely different. Is there anything that you would say that sort of permeates or makes a difference for a good collaboration rather than a bad one?
Yes, well, I would say number one is honesty.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think that is like a thing a lot of people struggle with. They feel like they're being honest, but they really aren't. And they're kind of like not saying exactly what they think about the song and the project. And we are overly honest. Sometimes yes. I'm like, can't you just say that it's nice? Like, do you always have to be so honest? But we got used to it. But I think that is what makes it good, because then nothing slides through unless we both love it. And
exactly.
And we if we don't love it, we find like a way to make it better.
And also just like the same drive. I think me and Hildur, we have the same energy and the same drive and the just same, we know where we're going with. So we bring each other's solo career into this project.
Okay.
And as a solo artist, you're used to doing everything so much yourself. So doing something together like creates, I think, double the energy and double the drive. And so it's so nice to have just someone to just like do the things you like to do together.
Yeah.
And I think that's why we're so good together, because we have experience and same energy and honesty, I think.
Definitely. And I think we both benefited a lot of like having our own careers, because we've made a lot of mistakes there, and it's like nice to start something fresh, and you're like, oh, I'm not gonna do this in this project, or I'm gonna try something completely different that never fitted to my project. So I think like And definitely the same drive, because we have both been struggling with that, working with people that kind of like don't have the same energy, or like don't like, you know, put as much effort into things. And it can be so hard if you feel like you're dragging the other people, you know, if they don't put the same effort, it can be just really hard, and then it can kind of take the creativity from you, because you don't like feel inspired if you feel like you're kind of like
waiting and
and doing all the work.
Yeah. Keeping the right energy flow is such a tricky thing. And
with us, like the creativity is on really fast paced, like everything with us. So I love that.
so you basically have a good chemistry. There's good chemistry there.
Yes.
It sort of works correctly together. Yes. Words of wisdom, ladies. Thank you very much. I'm sure we'll take this to heart. Well, I certainly do. Thank you. This is actually concludes our short chat about collaborations. I will just say good luck on your wonderful endeavors.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
We'll all check out Red Riot. Yes. Thanks.
Bye.
Ciao.